Hey beauties, it's Riri. Today's video is all about all the latest viral drugstore makeup. I am on a no-buy, but so much of this has caught my eye because it's products that I genuinely feel like I will love because a lot of it's more kind of glowy and stuff like that. First up, I do already have my brows on and a little bit of skincare done, but I will pop on the little demo portion here. I did start off with the D'Alba, the First Spray Serum, Hydrated and Radiant Skin, Double Layer Serum enriched with white truffle from Italy. Of course, I have seen this literally everywhere. It is a dual phase product. You shake it up and then you spray it, and then it tells you to kind of press any kind of residual serum into the skin. I have to say, yes, this looks pretty, and yes, it gave me some glow, but when I have seen people demo this, and I don't know if they're like literally spraying the heck out of their, like they're drenching their skin in this, it does not say to do that. I don't see the hype. It is really pretty, and I'll continue to use it, especially as a dry skin babe. I'm only saying I don't understand the hype because I was expecting like holy hydration. I'm beaming from here to outer space. I'm, you know, super glowy, dewy, yummy, and I'm not experiencing that. Does it look pretty? Did I get some hydration? Yes. Do I feel like it's hype worthy? No. I will also note too that it does have a perfumed fragrance to it. I do feel like it dissipates quite a bit once actually sprayed. If you do not like fragrance at all, you will not like this. And if you are like me and you've seen somebody demo this and their skin is just beaming, quenched, super dewy, glowy, it's not going to do that for you. So I like the product. I will continue to use the product. It is just not hype worthy. Next up, the only thing that I saw that was new was this, but I did want to pair it with some other drugstore brow products that will also be in the demo here. I have the e.l.f. Micro Fine Brow Pencil in Deep Brown. This is great. To find a super affordable, retractable brow pencil, which is what I prefer, the undertone and stuff like that is also perfect. This is very micro fine, but it's not, I've tried some even from high ends, like Fenty, Huda, that have very fine ones that as soon as I take one little stroke, it's breaking the pencil. This did not break at all. You can get really detailed, really fine, feather-like strokes if you need to. It is quite pigmented as well. And it has that beautiful mid-ground where it's not soft, gushy, mushy, gunking up in the brows, but it's not so hard that it's tugging on the brows, tugging on the skin. This I love. Next up, the Ulta Beauty Collection Longwear Brow Stain, also Stain, also in dark brown. I love the component and stuff like that. It has like the little shaker and stuff in it. I like the actual little applicator and stuff here. I will say that it seems pretty pigmented here. When I'm trying to put it through my brows, I mean, you can get there and you can see that it works. And, you know, thus far it's not, you know, traveling or bleeding or anything like that, like it's staying in place. It's just not ultra pigmented. But unlike the e.l.f. one that I recently tried that I did not like at all, this actually, it's not super pigmented, but it's pigmented enough, if that makes any sense. Like I was able to go in and do the little strokes and stuff that I wanted to do, fill in the portions that are missing on my brows, which is most of my brows. So I like it. I'm not in love with it. I'm looking at the price point though, and I will continue to use it up. I also think if you're somebody that likes to do faux freckles, I think this would be a great option for that. That's not something I'm personally into, but I think it would be perfect for that. Next up was the Ulta Beauty Collection Brow Tint, also, and this is in medium brown. I absolutely love this too. I like the tone and undertone of it. It gives really nice hold without being crunchy and stuff like that. Like my brows still feel like brows. So this I really like. It has a tiny pinched little brush, which is also my favorite. So the brow products overall were a win. Next up, they had some new goodies from LA Girl. I picked up the Hydrating Gel Primer as well as the Hydrating Setting Spray. Of course, we'll use this at the end. So I'm going to go in with this first. This is LA Girl H2O Lock Hydrating Gel Primer Gripping Formula. It does say it has skin-loving ingredients, contains glycerin, which moistens and softens the skin, hyaluronic acid, which helps to hydrate, and then purslane extract, which is an antioxidant to help soothe the skin. I thought that this sounded really nice, of course, very affordable, and I do have very sensitive, very reactive skin, so maybe this will do me right, y'all. I also really loved the packaging. I am a pink packaging girly. So let's see if there's anything new to this. So we're supposed to apply in a specific way. If not, it just says apply on entire face before foundation. And with these types of primers, I am a very sensory aware person. I used to not like these. If you're somebody like me that you've been on the fence about these, but the texture threw you off, I feel like if you apply them in this manner, I think you'll like them. So I'm gonna go in with just a little bit to start with. There we go. Okay, it's a little bit more kind of viscous than I'm used to. It's not like super clear. You can kind of see that it's a little bit thicker. So I like to kind of manipulate it through my hands first and get kind of a sheer layer on my hands, and then evenly distribute, well, that smells nice, a thin layer. I think that is the key with these types of products, is to not go in with too much. And then whatever little bit is left, I'm gonna press into the skin. And then let it dry. If you let it dry and then go wash your hands, if you're somebody like me and you don't like the sticky stuff, let it dry fully and then go in with your foundation. When these kind of first came out, first went viral with like the Milk Makeup one and stuff like that, I absolutely hated them. I am not somebody that likes that kind of sticky, grippy feeling. Like right now it's already irritating me, so let me wipe my hands. So if you are very sensitive to that, I think that's a good rule of thumb to do a less is more approach. Let it set. I go wash my hands. And then by the time really that I've gone and like washed my hands or wiped my hands or whatever, and then I go in with the foundation, I feel like it's been enough time. I do see a little bit of extra glow. Of course, the Dalba was a little bit glowy as well, but I do feel like I'm seeing some glow. In terms of tack, it's just slightly tacky. So I actually think I'm gonna like this one better than a lot of them. Let me roll up my little sleeves. Next up for foundation, we are going in with the brand new NYX Make 'em Wonder Soft Matte Buildable Foundation. I opted for shade 9 Light Nude. And I don't generally go with something that's more mattifying. I'll put deets and stuff right here for you guys. However, moving into, which, you know, it's still cold as heck right now, but moving into springtime, summertime, I like something that gives me a little bit more lock. I tend to go a little bit more glowy, dewy, tinted moisturizer type vibes in the winter months when I actually need to do that. I don't understand the reverse of that. I know that like glowy skin, dewy skin is like all the rage during the summertime. I can't do it. For summertime, I like to do more bronzies, goldies, things like that. In terms of my foundation, I have to have something that locks in place. I have to have something that's going to be bulletproof because it is humid as heck here, y'all. So that is why I opted to get this. Is this going to be the right shade for right now? Probably not, but guess what? It's going to be okay. I do like the component. It is 1.01 ounces or 30 mLs, kind of a standard, you know, packaging. I like that it's a squeezy tube and stuff like that. I like the packaging. All right, so it looks like this. I'm gonna start on the back of my hand as I always do, and I will do one side of my face. I'll get up super duper close, turn the lights down. You know the drill if you are not new here. So I'm gonna start with a little bit, a little thicker than I anticipated. It's more kind of a whipped vibe, but you can see it's slightly moving, so it's not, you know, a cream. It's not super, super dense. I'm gonna pick this up evenly and disperse it into my brush evenly. And I do this for quite a few reasons. You use less product. I think we overuse product, specifically foundation, especially if you're just trying to kind of go in and you're just squeezing it all over the place. You know, we don't need that much. I'm a less is more beauty for sure. It also gives me a little bit more control. If I maybe want to go in, like I don't need a lot of coverage on my forehead. I need it more so through here. You know, I can kind of go in and target those specific areas. And then if I need to go back in, I can get a little bit more. So I am going to start, I always start with my problem areas. That color is actually perfect. I start with, you know, my problem area. I start with stippling, pouncing motions. I avoid the direct under eye, especially today because I am using concealer. If I'm not going in with concealer, I will take this and use the bulk of the product kind of where I need it and then do the last little residual bit underneath my eye. Again, I'm a less is more beauty. I'm not adding more product because I don't need it if I'm going in with concealer. Now from here, I'm going to lightly start putting it to the rest of my skin. I'm going to pick up a little bit more. Ooh, that is pretty. I will say it's looking a little, I mean, it's mattified, you know, it's mattifying or whatever. It's looking a little matte, which, you know, that's the claim. It is matte. But I feel like because I'm well prepped, I'm going to be okay. So just right off very first impression, if you do have drier skin like myself, I think you definitely want to go in and prep, you know, to kind of get your skin ready for something that's mattifying. But as you can see, it's not so mattifying. Like, I can still see a little bit of a luminous glow kind of peeking through. Blending out beautifully. There is no scent. It does not feel heavy or anything like that. That color is great. Now, am I going to be able to use this in the spring and summer? Probably not, but we can mix if we need to. I'm going to get up very close. All right, you can see in the before, I have a lot of redness, broken capillaries, uneven skin tone overall. And you can see everything is completely diminished. I don't feel like it's like settling. A lot of times products will settle here and then above my brows. That's kind of where I'm the driest generally at. It has completely covered the redness. It is more mattifying, but as you can see, especially because I'm well prepped, you can see that little bit of like a luminous quality kind of peeking through. We're gonna turn the light all the way up. And all the way down. All right, so far, I'm a freaking fan. If this wears really well, which I'm assuming that it will because it's not hot and muggy right now, this is something I would pick up again and buy a couple shades of to be able to have that really long wearing type of foundation that I'm looking for summertime. Let me do the other side. I'll be right back. All right, both sides are on. Yeah, this is great. I think if you have dry skin and you prep well, you're gonna love it. You're gonna get great coverage and stuff like that. Beautiful wear. If you have oily skin, you're absolutely gonna love it. I feel like it's not often that I can say that a foundation would be kind of all inclusive in terms of skin types. Again, if you have dry skin, definitely be prepped. Next up, we are going to be battling out two different concealers. This one has been going crazy freaking viral. We have the Soft Glam Satin Concealer from e.l.f. This is medium buildable coverage. I got light neutral in that. Essence also just dropped one called the Silky Blur Hydrating Longwear Concealer. I got shade 120 in that. I like the packaging of both. So I'll probably just do e.l.f. on this side and the Essence on this side. I don't use a ton of concealer, but when I do just a tiniest little bit. I do use it to carve out my brows, and then I use it sometimes if I'm doing more like a lesser coverage, a skin tint, something like that, and I need a little bit more coverage for those problem areas, I'll opt to use some concealer. So I do like the actual component of this. Do I pull or twist? Oh, I was expecting to pull and it be a squeezy tube. I was not expecting that. I do like the doe foot applicator. And again, I am a less is more beauty, so I'm going to go in with literally a dot, and you will see, oh, that is too dark for the foundation shade. It's okay. It's okay. Ooh, that smells quite strong. I'm not a fan of that. I don't like when stuff smells that strongly. That's all you need, and honestly, I probably used a little bit too much. I'm going to go in with my finger. I do like that it is that kind of thinner, more serum-like texture that I kind of prefer with a concealer. Okay, yeah, it's definitely too dark for me right now. Hopefully I can rectify that and fix that. I'm a little scared. Okay, I'm going with a little bit more and pat that out with a brush. I may have to go on top of it with the Essence one, and you will see again, I do not come directly under the eye. We're going to manipulate it enough, you guys, that it's going to go to the under eye. That is a good rule of thumb, especially if you are, more mature, if you have, fine lines and wrinkles, if you have drier skin, textured skin, things like that. So now I'm going to go in with the brush. I'm kind of specifically aiming to get in like that little inner corner area, and then again right through here, that is where most of us are going to have, you know, blueness or sallowness. I am not liking how this is looking, and I don't know if it is the texture itself, if it's not playing well with my skincare, or if it's the shade. That is not a lot of coverage, which I'm normally a less is more person. Let me actually get very close for y'all. That is not looking very good on the under eye. And I don't think that has to do with the shade of it. It's just looking, it's looking real crusted, dusty. Yeah, I don't like that. And I am well prepped. I am well hydrated. I don't like what that's doing to the under eye. Okay, that's a no so far. Of course, I'll press it out and stuff like that. We'll use setting spray. We'll kind of see what happens through the duration of the day, because a lot of times I speak to this a lot, especially if you have drier skin. I feel like as my makeup is more lived in and it's on, you know, I wear it for like 2-3 hours, I feel like I really see a difference. Everything kind of comes to life. That also sometimes happens with the spray. It's just it is settling everywhere. That is not a good look. And I did, you know, press it out immediately. Yeah, no, I'm not liking that. Not liking that at all. All right. That's also a very cool component. I also think it's gonna be a little too dark. Again, a little tiny bit right here. Already the coverage is a little bit more. I can just tell by visually looking at it. Starting by tapping motions with just my finger. Ooh. Okay. I like the texture of this one better. I feel like it's more coverage, just visibly. I don't think I'm going to add any more because I feel the coverage is there already. So I'm going to go in now with my little brush. You could use a sponge. You could continue to use your fingers. Maybe it's this brush because it's kind of pulling up product. All right, not looking quite as bad on this side. And I definitely have to take into consideration, like, the color is gonna just kind of make it look a little different. This side does not look good at all, and I don't feel like I got any coverage. I'm actually gonna put both of these on my arm, or on my hand. And this, I'll still keep this because I'll use it in the summertime when I'm a little more tan, and I'll use it for what I was talking about with concealer. I really like the component of the essence too. So we have e.l.f. here. Yeah, the essence has more coverage. All right, the essence definitely has more coverage to it. I think you can kind of visually see that. And this kind of, it almost feels to me like kind of watery, but also a little bit emollient and oily at the same time. And I hope I'm explaining that okay. It almost feels like, it feels very, very thin, almost very serum-like, which, I mean, that's fine. You know, I like those types of concealers. But it's almost like watery too, and it's almost like it's kind of breaking down. Whereas this, it feels just like a beautiful, very thin cream. Yeah, I definitely have a preference for this one. Neither one of them are my shade right now. But I got light neutral. I mean, and that's the color that I generally would go for. They're both too dark. This one visually looks better. It's still doing something like on my inner corner and stuff like that. Again, that could be that brush. This side though, looks, baby, no, that does not look good. I will revisit these. We'll also come back at the end of the day and see how they look. So far though, I like the essence better. This I do not like, and I do not understand the hype around it. I look 94 years old. Yeah, I don't like that. I do not like that at all. Again, it could be, you know, and there's always trial and error. That's why I will always say, hey, I will revisit X, Y, or Z if I don't like it, because it could be prep. Maybe, you know, maybe my under eye is not as hydrated as I thought it was today. Yeah, I don't like that. Definitely prefer the Essence. So on one side, I'm going to be going in with the new Covergirl, the Skin Enhancers. I got the Baked Luminous Bronzer and the Baked Luminous Blush. This is Rose Latte. This is Toasted Butterscotch. And again, I am on a no-buy, but products like these, I love a beautiful baked formula, and I love something that has a luminous finish to it, specifically because I have drier skin. I think I'll try this on both sides. This is the Essence Soft Touch Butter Bronzer. This is in Golden Buttercream. And then on this side only, I'll be going in with the Essence Soft Touch Bouncy Blush. I had tried their bronzer like that before, and I loved it. And then we also have their new Soft Baked Blush. And this is in Peach Please. Again, these are those beautiful glowy formulas that I love. And then on both sides, we're going to be testing out the very hyped up e.l.f. Halo Glow Silky Powder Highlighter. I got the Prosecco Poppin'. This is supposedly a Rare Beauty dupe, which I actually hated the Rare Beauty one and I decluttered it, but I'm hoping that I like this better. So first up, I'll go in with the more matte bronzer. This is the Soft Touch Powder Bronzer. Oh, it does smell good. There is definitely given Physicians Formula butter bronzer vibes. It's got a good level of pigment to it. And a tiny, tiny kiss, again, of that luminous quality, which I love. Love. I know not everybody likes that. I'm going to go in with a less is more approach. Hopefully. Picks up beautifully, and there's zero kick up. Let me tap that off just to be safe. Now, when I'm testing out a brand new bronzer, burly contour, blush, anything, I try to take a less is more approach, and I'm going to start more up here in my hairline. Okay, I think we're okay. And I do that because if it's a little too harsh, it becomes a little bit muddy or something like that. Once, you know, my hair is down and or I'm facing somebody, talking to somebody, you don't really see that. This is going on really, really beautifully. I am going to go ahead and pick up some more and try to build it up. Oh, okay, that's pretty. That smells so good too. I love that. Oh my goodness. And then I'm going to go, staying again very close to the hairline. I do not want a, you know, bronzer helmet. I want it where, you know, the sun would naturally kind of kiss my skin. That is beautiful. I think it's pigmented enough that you can kind of add to it if you need to, but then also soft enough that it can be diffused. And those are my favorite types of bronzers, so I think I'm going to absolutely love this. It smells incredible, which I also love. Okay, I like this a lot. That's a win so far. Tapping off my brush. I do always keep a towel down here too on my lap. All right, I'm excited about all of it. All of it. I'm gonna go in with the CoverGirl bronzer, Baked Luminous Bronzer in Toasted Butterscotch. I like the component. I like that it is a larger size as well. That is an up close look. Oh, that is really pretty. I don't know if you're not, if you're not a fan of like loomy things or you have maybe oily skin, I don't know how you would feel about it. I'm going to do the same thing, take a less is more approach. Again, no fallout or anything. And I'm basically just going to top this, so it's kind of so it's going to be more like a bronzer topper, but I think it's going to give me a little bit more radiance than the other one. Oh yeah, that's pretty. Not accentuating any texture at all. And of course, my under eyes are looking crazy right now. So I appreciate that. That I love. And I'll go ahead and top this side too, so I have a little bit of symmetry. Oh yeah, I am loving that, you guys. And it gives sheeniness and a subtle glow, like a lit from within type of glow. It's not like overtly dewy, super radiant, not glittery or anything like that. I love this. That is fantastic. All right, we're gonna hop on over to a blush brush. I'm gonna go in on this side, of course, with the CoverGirl True Blend Skin Enhancer Baked Luminous Blush. This is Rose Latte. Again, I like the packaging and stuff like that. Everything feels nice and weighted. Okay, yeah, I like that a lot. That's pretty. Again, a subtle luminous quality to it. And And I do try my best. As you guys can see, I didn't bring like bronzer down this way. I try to do that when I'm, you know, testing new things, so you guys can kind of really see what the blush is also doing. That's really pretty. I don't know if it's because of the foundation being a little bit more mattifying, but I'm not getting quite as much, you know, glow as I generally would with these types of products. I think everything's gonna come to life though once we use some of the setting spray. All right, I'm tapping that off again. I'm gonna go in with the Bouncy blush first. That's in the shade Exotic Daisy. And this is a very weird, for lack of a better term, type of texture. It's kind of like moussey and a little bit like spongy, like putty-like, as you can see. And it kind of feels like a cream, but then it dries like a powder. Like their bronzer that I tried that I really loved was very similar to this. So I think for this product, I'm gonna go in with a firmer brush here. I'm gonna pick some up. That might be too much. Let me tap some off, and I'm gonna place it here. Oh yeah, that's got some punch to it. Whoa. Okay, so definitely much more pigmented. Oh, I love this color. I absolutely love colors like this. So you can see this is quite punchy. I feel like it gives a really pretty, like, kind of blurring effect to the skin. We're definitely not gonna match, and I have to film after this. We'll see what happens. I'm actually gonna take my foundation brush and kind of lightly graze the edges, and that's a good tip too, like if you go a little too heavy-handed. All right, that's better. That is super beautiful. And then the soft baked blush in Peach Please. And again, it's quite luminous. Oh, that feels like frickin' silk. Oh, that is pretty. It's almost like what NARS Orgasm wishes it was. Again, I'm gonna go less is more approach. That packs a little bit of a punch too. Ooh, that's pretty. All right, getting a little emphasis on texture. I think it could also be attributed to that concealer. So I'm definitely feeling a little bit dry. I like every product though that I've tried so far, except for maybe the concealers. Maybe they weren't wins today, and that's just fine. Before we go in with the highlighter, I am gonna go ahead and set, because I am feeling incredibly dry right now. And I also just want to make sure that I'm giving everything a fair chance. I have a dry sponge. I'm going in with the LA Girl H2O Lock Hydrating Setting Spray. It has skin-loving ingredients: aloe vera, vitamin E, cucumber extract, sunflower, and moringa seed oil. And it does say, shake well, spray 12 to 16 inches away from your face. It is a bi-phase. It is hydrating with a dewy finish, non-sticky, non-greasy feel, and long-lasting. My issue with these types of products, like the e.l.f. one, I love the actual product. I love the mister. I love the bottle. I love how my skin looks because it gives beautiful radiance and glow to the skin. It does not lock in makeup. So I have a feeling this is going to do the same thing. So you can kind of see that little dual phase there. I'm going to shake it up well. I like the bottle and stuff like that. All right, we are well shaken. I don't smell anything. Maybe it smells slightly alcohol-y just upon like first impression. Before this has a chance to dry down fully, I'm going to go in with my sponge, and I'm lightly, I'm barely tapping my skin. I'm going to lightly tap. And what this does, specifically if you have dry skin, but even if you have oily skin, if you've just gone in a little too heavy-handed with your powders, if things are just looking a little bit dry, a little bit too cakey, whatever the case may be, this really just kind of marries everything, kind of makes everything become one with the skin, as opposed to just kind of sitting on top of the skin. And it just kind of refreshes everything, makes everything just kind of come back to life. Yeah, I already feel way better. All right, I feel like that brought some life back. I have to say, y'all, this has been a really good makeup day. Aside from the concealers, specifically this one, again, I will try it again. I just, off first impressions, I do not understand the hype on that. But yeah, if you've tried it, let me know. But right now, that is better in my opinion than that one is. So next up, we'll go in with the e.l.f. Halo Glow Silky Powder Highlighter. This is in the shade Prosecco Poppin'. I am a massive fan of the e.l.f. Halo Glow line. I love, love, love the powders. I do like the component. It's kind of giving like a little bit of ColourPop vibes. Okay, automatically, just from my recollection from the Rare Beauty one, this one feels a little bit smoother and a little thinner, which I think I'm going to like. And I'm going to go in with a brush that was gifted to me from my beautiful friend Renee, so thank you to Renee. But she got this in her Beautylish lucky bag, and she's like, I don't think I'm going to use it. And I was like, please, if you're going to sell that, let me know, because that is my favorite type of highlighter brush. I like one that's a little bit kind of more thick and dense. They just work beautifully, and this is such a beautiful brush. So I'm going to go in with a less is more approach. And start up here. Okay, already I like that way more. Still getting some emphasis on texture. I mean, if you have textured skin like me, it's going to get emphasized sometimes. But it's not in the way that like the Rare Beauty one was on me. And over here, it's not doing it as much. I'm a little bit more kind of textured and stuff over here. Ooh, okay, on this side, I'm gonna add some more. Okay, that's beautiful. Again, if you have drier textured skin, it may emphasize a little bit of your texture, but that's really stunning. Got some really good pigment to it, so I think you could really amp it up and go, you know, crazy with it, or you can kind of sheer it out some too. All right, impressed so far, you guys. We have just a couple more products. If you're still here, thank you so much. Next up, we have the e.l.f. Incredi-Curl Mascara, curling and volumizing, and I got pitch black. And I do like wands like this. What I'm looking for is, am I getting that curl? Is it nice and rich and intense black, or is it more gray? Is it too wet? I do not like a wet mascara formula. The packaging and stuff feels really nice. I generally will always curl my lashes. I'm not gonna do that today. I just wanna use the mascara as is. I do like this style of wand, and based off just pulling it out and looking visually at the brush, it does seem like it's more of a kind of thicker, more moussey type texture, so I already have high hopes, you guys. Okay, already, I'm just gonna say it's giving some beautiful volume. Okay, that I'm really liking so far. If it kind of keeps that hold and that like lift and curl, I'm really gonna love it. It is nicely pigmented. I do like the applicator and stuff like that. It's giving beautiful volume while also giving me some length and stuff like that. It's really opening up the eye, as you guys can see. Okay, I think I like that. All right, I really like that. Hopefully it stays up. If it does like this, like I love the effect. That's beautiful. Next up, this is the new CoverGirl Outlast Lip Stain. I got Shuggy Girl, and I absolutely love and use, even if I'm not wearing makeup, the Huda Beauty one almost every single day. I absolutely love these. These were gifted to me, but I would repurchase, and I'm going to repurchase. So I wanted to hopefully find a drugstore dupe to that. Are these new? No, they're not. CoverGirl had these years and years and years ago, and I loved them. I am a fan of stains. I do like the little applicator here. Okay, very pigmented right out the gate. I'm able to be precise. Or I can lay it on its side and fill in. I like that. I love that. In my opinion, it works the exact same. I like that I'm able to get very precise. I'm going to leave this here for a second while we're doing our lips, our lipstick, I should say, and we'll kind of give it a smudge rub test. Of course, I'll be back at the end of the day. Yeah, I like that, and it smells good. Like, I feel like I'm smelling something fruity or like candy-like, so I love that. And then to wrap things up, this is not new to me. I use it all the time. It's one of my favorites from the drugstore. This is the Milani, I think they're called like the Soft Matte or something like that. This is in the shade 410 Pleasure. And these are a beautiful formula. Nicely pigmented, matte without being like, you know, drying or anything like that. They have really good staying power. I feel freaking beautiful. Now that everything is kind of set for a second and I have the setting spray and stuff like that on, there's a little bit of life kind of come back into my skin. I don't feel as dry. Even, I mean, there's still definitely some creasing and some settling here. I'm still not a fan of how that looks. Even that, those kind of, it's diminished a little bit and everything is just brought to life. So I'm feeling great, you guys. I'm gonna let this set for just a few more seconds and we'll run down everything very, very quickly. The D'Alba, beautiful product. It's not what I have seen other people showcase it as, in terms of, I've seen people like spray it or showcase and be like, oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. And then they're like, glass high shine finish. That did not do that on me. And maybe it's because I have very, very dry skin. It is a beautiful product. I just don't think that it's hype worthy, but I like it and I'm going to continue testing it. It does have a slightly fragranced, perfumey scent, so if you don't like that, you will not like that at all. The brow products were an absolute win. Even the stain, even though it's not quite as pigmented as I would like, it still worked, and you know, nothing's budging, moving, or anything like that thus far. I like the pencil. I like all the brow products collectively. The foundation, I really, really like this. It is a little bit mattifying, so again, if you have dry skin, definitely just kind of prepare as if you have dry skin. It's nothing new to us, y'all. But just prep your skin. I think this is going to be something, if you are somebody like me that you live in a more humid, muggy climate, specifically spring and summer, and you're looking for something that has beautiful coverage and beautiful wear, like it's going to be softly mattifying, if you will, but not overtly dry. I think you'll like it. I think I'm going to love this in the summertime. Next up, the primer. I also really like this. It was nice and lightweight. It gave a little bit of grip and tack without being overtly sticky or feeling, you know, just kind of icky on the skin. I like the component and stuff like that. The concealers, I will continue to use this. I'm going to probably try to like do a demo with these side by side, like on my cheek area where I would normally add extra coverage. It's a little thinner, it's a little bit more kind of watery, if you will, and seemed like it was already kind of breaking apart. So maybe that's just me, I do not know, but I do not care for this. I will try it though, using it kind of here. The Essence one I like a little bit better. I feel like it had a little bit more coverage and a better consistency and texture in my personal opinion. The Essence Soft Touch Butter Bronzer I really like. I like that tiny, tiny bit of a kind of kiss of glow. I think it's beautiful. I think it's buildable, which those are my favorite types of products. The Covergirl Skin Enhancers. I liked both of these. I again like the beautiful, subtle, little radiant quality that these have. Those are my favorite types of products. They feel nice. The packaging and stuff feels nice. Blended out beautifully and stuff like that. I think those are great. I like both of the Essence blushes. Treat this one like it is a cream blush, but know that it's going to set down fully like a powder. Just noting that for you guys. Love the color of these. Again, love the little bit of sheeny quality to these. Again, and if you don't like that, these are not for you. None of these products are for you if you don't like that. The e.l.f. highlighter, I actually thought I was gonna crap all over this, but I love it. I think it's beautiful. And even just in the few minutes that I've like done, you know, the highlighter on this side, yes, there's still some emphasis on texture, but it already, like I said, looks a little bit more lived in. On this side though, holy crap, like this is beautiful. And if you want it to be super, super beaming, you can do that. If you want to kind of diffuse it a little bit, you can do that as well. So I like this and I think it is a win as well. The setting spray, I don't know how well it's going to lock in my makeup. Of course, I'll do that in the update, you know, tonight. It smells really nice. I like the component. The mister and stuff is really nice. And it did give a little bit of refreshing and gave life back to the complexion. So far, I like it. The lip stain, I love that I can be a little bit more precise with it if I need to, but I can turn it on its side and fill it in. It smells really nice too, so we'll see how it also wears. I'll do the budge test in just a second. The mascara, so far I am loving. I do see it's falling a little bit here, or maybe I didn't put, you know, as much on that side. But if you're looking for something that is that drier formula, you like a more curved curl wand, you like a lot of lift, curl, and volume, I think you'd really love this. Is that everything? I think it is. yeah, overall a win. The concealers are not my favorite, but I could, you know, maybe it's the way I prepped today, and I really don't like the e.l.f. one. Again, I will revisit. And if you've tried them in a different way, if you also have dry skin, let me know your thoughts on that. But yeah, I think overall a win, and I can't really complain about too many of these products, y'all. And I mean, drugstore pricing, even though I gotta say, look, y'all, for drugstore pricing, some of these products are a little bit expensive, okay? I'm going to do a little smudgeroonie test. Not budging at all. I like that. I like that a lot. I actually would like to get, just because this, and I was hoping this would be a little closer to what this is, maybe I could go into the less is more approach. This is just, it's the most perfect, like it looks like my lips, but I can define my lips a little bit better with that, and it doesn't look like I have anything on because my lips are quite uneven. So if this does wear as well as I hope it does, I like it enough. I would purchase a different shade to try to get that like Huda dupe. But if you've looked at the Huda ones and you're like, I cannot afford that, or I'm not spending that, definitely a beautiful alternative. Yeah, I'm going to give the overall experience a 4.5 out of 5, literally, other than these. And then maybe the highlighter showing a little bit of texture. Y'all, this has been a freaking win. I would love to know what you guys think. Comment down below. Let's have that conversation. What are your all-time favorite drugstore products? What is something that you hate from the drugstore that maybe everybody else loves? What is something that you're eyeing and you'd like to try? I'd like to know. Thank you guys so much for joining. Please don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe if you did enjoy. You can hype the video, you can turn on post notifications so you never miss an upload, and there's a join button down below you can click to become a channel member to get some exclusive perks. I love you all. Stay happy, healthy, and safe. And of course, be your own best beautiful. Bye, beauties.